Senator Jerry Moran joins us right now, the Republican Kansas senator, on the phone. Senator, very good to have you.
Neil, good afternoon. Thank you.
What do you think of the president's plan? He wants to keep workers protected. Safety precautions will be made. But as you know, Senator, a lot of these folks are crowded into tight areas. Maybe you can put plexiglass between each of them and all, but even honoring 6-foot distancing rules would be tough. So do some of these workers who are concerned for their safety, do they have a right to be?
Well, Neil, it's a very difficult circumstance. This combines healthcare with the economy, as we've seen in every instance of what we're trying to deal with in policy decisions as we address COVID-19. There's a healthcare component and there is an economic component. And in Kansas, you're right, we pack a lot of beef, 18,000 employees, fourth of the cattle slaughtered in the country. That occurs here. It's a $10 billion industry for us. And an executive order, I called the president. He returned my phone call about a little over a week ago to raise this issue with him about what's going on in this industry. It is certainly the plant and the employment there, but what it does, the consequence of the inability to have livestock slaughtered and processed has huge consequences on livestock producers and ultimately has a lot of consequence at the grocery store as consumers look for their beef in their diet. So this has consequences all throughout the United States, not just Kansas, and it is difficult. I would say that an executive order is helpful, particularly, the president talked particularly about liability for companies in their hiring or retaining employees, but also what this executive order, I hope, does, what I think it highlights is the need to get more PPE, the personal protection equipment, more testing. CDC, the Center for Disease Control, was in Kansas yesterday visiting our packing plants, going through the plants and looking to see what accommodations had been made, what more they would recommend to make certain that the workers are safe. An executive order is useful in highlighting this huge issue for the country and for the Midwest and for agriculture, but we still have to make certain that the employees are safe, and we also need to make certain the employees understand and believe themselves to be safe. We don't live in a country in where you can force somebody to go to work that doesn't want to go to work. This means we got to continue the efforts to make certain that the plants are safe for their employees, and the plants need all the equipment, the testing, the thermometers, and the things that they're doing today. We just need it in larger quantities.
Do you worry? I know the FDA says you can't, the virus doesn't transfer to food or anything like that. I get that. But a lot of people are afraid of that. And they think that, well, if all of these individuals are getting stricken at these pork and beef plants around the Midwest and what have you, there must be something maybe wrong with the food, and maybe I should stay away from it, whether it's packed in my grocery shelves or not. What do you say to them or try to reassure them?
Well, based upon science and medicine, everything we know is that that's not the case. And I would say that demand for meat products in the grocery store has increased, in part because the lack of restaurants, availability of meat and other foods at a restaurant. The grocery stores, and we're a grocery store state as well, in which we have companies here that have grocery stores across the country. They're telling me the demand for meat is increasing.
Yeah, and the point should be made, I think, as we've talked to a number of medical experts, that you cook the meat anyway. And so even in the remotest of possibilities that were an issue, supposedly that is cooked out. So we'll see. Senator, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for focusing on this issue. Good to be with you, Neil.